Peter Woods out of Clemson, a junior, 21 in a few weeks, 6'3", 315 pounds.
He is a rare combo of speed, strength, agility, and this man is tough. He is powerful. He is fast. He's athletic. He's got agility. He plays all along the defensive interior. They moved him around in games, but looks great out of a three-point stance.
Now, 6'3", just slightly under your sort of ideal height for these guys. Is that correct?
2 inches shorter than you would ideally draw up.
The athletic traits are fantastic. That's what you covet. He's a brilliant athlete, really young. It's just a shame what happened this year. The production really dropped down from 2024. But just did with everybody at Clemson. 2024 Peter Woods was a prospected top 10 pick. Why is he still up that high? Because he is electric out of his stance. He has got a swift, violent push out of it. He's got really good vision for ball carriers. I quite like his motor. I think it's a little inconsistent at times. He's young. You've got a lot of room to grow with him. Top-tier athlete. Versatile. Has lined up at nose, has lined up as D-end, has even gone into the edge position. What I will say is I am at value. I do think he's a first-round prospect. Mr. Mike Farrell said that Peter Woods is his red star. So there you go. Mike gave me one word for Peter Woods. Savage.
In a class of great guys for the Steelers, Peter Woods is wearing the crown. If they could get this guy, train under Cam and Harmon the power, he can stack and shit. The game starts with his run defense, and you can see the potential as a rusher. He can gap penetrate, so he's just a guy you can leave on the field, never take him off. Better against the run at the moment, but you can see the potential. The pass rush toolkit is raw, benefit from coaching, work on that pan level, work on his balance, which is something I noticed through his pass rush. It gets a little bit knocked off balance, tries to spin various moves, and you can see he's not quite as technical as you like. I think he's going to develop to be an all-pro, this guy. He's going to be a big name up front. He resembles the type of lineman we've seen winning Super Bowls for the Eagles and Seahawks, that kind of warrior, gladiator, big frame, powerful, just again and again and again. It's going to be destroying your O-line until he gets home. And then in the third, fourth quarter, he's going to be getting sacks and getting tackles for losses. He's my red star as well, man. Red star! The sheer aggression and power and speed. It's a rare combo to see it. Very good reason why he's getting talked about in the first round. Now, this guy's a difference maker. He did have the down year. I think moving inside, perhaps adjusting his position, maybe too much on him, too much expectation. Bad Clemson team, but I can see the potential, and I can see why Mike's red starred him. I'm +2 draft at all costs.
Wow, very high praise. There were still the concerns. The 18.2% missed tackle rate in 2025, 16.7% missed tackle rate in 2024. That's another area of the game he's really got to clean up.
He's a bit raw. I think it's all about potential and upside with him. It's just the frame, the natural ability you can see. Speed, strength, agility, arse whoop, just toughness, aggression.
Potential through the roof. I can't agree with you enough on that. I was just trying to see if Mike said anything further. He said he thinks he's a potential star. With a few of these guys, you're banking on the upside, but with Woods, he's seen it.
16th on the consensus big board. Kayden McDonald out of Ohio State. He's 3'2", 6'3". Nose tackle, first round potential, 25 on the big board. McDonald is powerful and thick.
I thought he was more athletic than meets the eye. I was surprised by how athletic he was. Not eye-popping, but more than I was expecting.
Quick feet, I thought, rather than like overall athleticism. And very quick out of his stance. Awesome block shedder. Great gap filler versus the run. So again, his game starts against the run. You like that. Explodes off blocks, hits with power, gets into tackles with a real burst. Good strength, good power guy. Nice balance and agility. Does better balance than Woods, I'd say, even, which is surprising for the big man. And never seems to be out of the play. Always involved. The nose of the shark in the attack, like really driving the line back, and the run game's got to go through him in the middle. So upside nose tackle. You think of the big guys back in the day, like Vince Wilfork, not the same player, but the same kind of impact McDonald's going to have. I love how he drives through his blocks. But some technical things, I'd like to see him lock out more, extend a bit more. I'm not sure what kind of length he's got. Maybe he's got the slightly short arms.
I've heard short arms.
He plays like it because he never fully locks out and drives. It doesn't feel like he takes control of people's upper body like that. So with that, a bit more technique and hand placement, hand fighting. He lacks a little bit of torque, and I thought he does pop straight up out of his stance rather than driving into his opponent. And that his bull rush isn't as good as what I'd expect for a dude with his strength and his power. So that's something that I'd want to be working on, because I want to see him driving that pocket back and quick out of his stance, and he's got the quick feet, and he's got the power. So there's no real reason why he shouldn't be a real pocket mover. So that's where I'd say his big area to improve is. But I really like him. I'm a +1 on him. I'd like it if the Steelers got him. I think he'd be a great nose for the Steelers.
It's another guy that's at value. Those short arms, I need to see those official measurables. I believe he's had a combine invite because that could be a key factor. But yeah, he moved people back through sheer force, if nothing else, to generate pressure. Real great power behind him. He was being double teamed quite a lot. I think that shows how much of a threat he is in the middle of that eye. More athletic than I thought he was going to be. The sweet feet. He had a good eye for the football. You look at some of the statistics and the grades from PFF. Highest run grade in this class, third most tackles made, and only a 3.3% missed tackle percentage this year. That is an
If you want to stop the run, this is the guy you target.
Absolutely. You talk about the talk and not being great, and I agree with that. And I think he tends to get bent back more than you like to see.
Pad level.
Pad level. Difficulty breaking off blocks at times. That's a consistency thing. You do see it, but it's a little bit inconsistent. He's great run stuffer, but pass rush, he is more kind of power than technical refinement in there. Very good at what he does. It just doesn't move the needle for me as much as I would like it to. But again, I wouldn't hate it if he's the pick at 21. We need a true nose on this team. I need to see the arm length stuff. I could easily be swayed to a +1 if the measurables are fine. That's the biggest red flag for me. But otherwise, a really good player, proper run stuffer, great run stuffing proficiency.
He's not the athletic freak. He's just a very, very good nose tackle.
Mike has also said that he doesn't believe that Kayden McDonald is a first rounder. I'd be delighted in the second if we've got ourselves a top receiver and then get this guy in at 53, is it? I think we're picking. I'd be more than happy with that.
Yeah, I'd be up for moving up in the second to get him if that's what it took.
Caleb Banks out of Florida, formerly of Louisville. Redshirt senior, soon to be 23 years old. 6'6", 329 pounds.
It's a big dude.
That's what you like to see. Absolutely massive human being. An actual real pass rush threat. Frightening athletic traits. Really powerful hands. Excellent burst. Relentless motor. I think he's got plenty of wiggle for a big man. I think he feels like the ideal 3-4 defensive end. He's coming back from a very serious foot injury. He participated in the Senior Bowl practices, looked good in those, so hopefully it's nothing too bad. But he only played 3 games in 2025 because of that foot injury.
The real concern is he injured it. He had some time off to rehab it, came back, re-injured it.
The injury concerns are one thing. I nicknamed him Mr. Almost. The LSU tape. He was doing absolutely everything but making the tackle, generating a lot of pressure. But at some point, you actually have to make the tackle. In the 3 games that he played in 2025, he missed 4 tackles in those. That's definitely something that needs to be cleaned up. The guy's absolutely physically gifted to the moon. I love the motor on him. Just a little bit concerned about the durability with the injury, and the missed tackle rate isn't great. It feels a little bit nitpicky, and it feels a bit harsh that I'm at value with him, considering all of the pros that I have for him. It's just me being cautious, but I have concerns about his immediate future. I think he's going to need to find an ideal landing spot, and Senior Bowl was positive for him.
The tape, I was very close to red starring this guy, and +2. I'm actually going to be +1 because of the injury, because it is a concern. But I love the tape, and I love the prospect. The strong upper body with the powerful lower half, amazing frame. If you're designing a guy in a lab to play football at his size, with his quickness, it's a prototype that you've just not seen before. He plays smaller than his frame in a good way. He looks like he's playing at 6'3", 250.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
He just explodes out of his stance. He's got quick lateral step, good agility, and he's got the length. Often these guys have got one of these things. Oh, he hasn't quite got the length, or he hasn't got the step, or he's a bit heavy, or he hasn't got the hand. He's got really strong hands. He's got really nice jolt and pin and pull moves, holds up versus double teams, widens base well, drops anchor really nicely. But it's the pass rush stuff where it needs a bit more work. You'd like to see more aggression for his pass rush reps. Looks a little bit pedestrian at times, like he's going through the motions rather than playing like a savage like Peter Woods. On top of that, the technique's not there. So he hasn't got the all-out aggression and he hasn't got the technique. But both of those things can be coached. The aggression, I hope he can be unleashed. And if he can master the hand skills and harness his natural strength, look out, because this dude is strong. If he can pinpoint that strength into jiu-jitsu or martial arts type way, then he can really be difficult. Because at the moment, he's got no real bend, not that much torque, and he's not really a penetrator. He's a pocket pusher. And I think those things are going to put some teams off. But the Steelers could use this dude. Get over the injury, let him develop as a pass rusher, the quickness and the length. Just needs to learn technique. So, yeah, he's a +1 for me, very close to being a +2. I really like Caleb Banks. I really like him. If he fell to the second round, I'd be very, very happy if the Steelers took him. But I wouldn't hate it if they thought the medical was clean. And where is he on the big board? 27. If they wanted to move back and take a guy like this, I wouldn't hate it.
That's absolutely fair. 26.1% missed tackle rate in 2024. Areas that need refinement, it caused me a little bit of concern. A tremendous player with tremendous measurables, certainly, and hopefully the injury isn't too bad.
Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. Now, he is 6'3", 320. He plays like he's 6'5", 500 pounds, Lee Hunter. He is a double team eating nose tackle. Looks massive on the tape. Good upper body strength, but good agility and good foot speed for a bigger guy. But his athleticism is a tick down from the other guys here. He's nowhere near as athletic as Woods, not quite as athletic as Banks or even McDonald. Lacks a little bit of quickness, but is still quick for his size and his frame. He's all upper body, big dude. He looks like a bear. Nice hand placement, and he keeps his feet driving through contacts. Dude with his power, you don't want to see him get jammed up and just start pushing. He keeps driving, and it looks good. I bet he'd look good on the blocking sled. But a little bit high in his pads, no knee flexion at all. He tends to put all of his weight into the blocks. And if you've got a savvy lineman, you can use that against him, I reckon. You can get him off balance because he is just leaning on you with all of this upper body weight. Combine that with the pork. Initially, I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's big and he's strong. But I started to see wrinkles in his game I didn't like. He uses that sheer size and power just to force his way through gaps with little technique. And I worry that he's always been the biggest, toughest dude on every team he's played on. And all he needs to do is just stand up and run into some people and they will fall over and get out of the way for him. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Doesn't have the length. Can he get off blocks? You do see him get washed a little bit versus the run. Doesn't lock out. And I wasn't in love with his motor. Sometimes college motor, that can be a problem that goes away when they get drafted in the professional players. But I did think sometimes he was just out of the play a little bit. So for me, I was -1 on Lee Hunter.
Whoa.
I got a little bit concerned. The more I watched Lee Hunter, the more I got cold on him. I think he's cashing checks on his size, and I'm not sure those checks are going to be accepted in the bank of the NFL.
This is Tom, Steel City's Red Star.
Red Star!
He said, like a lot of Tech prospects, had a really good year. True's nose tackle with awesome size and really good hands. Has good pass rush ability, which looked better at the Senior Bowl than on tape, where it was more flashy. Fear that because of the hype from Senior Bowl, he will go in first round. That's where Daniel Jeremiah had Lee Hunter going, which I'm not sure about, but if he's there in the second, definite target. If he's there in the second round, I would absolutely be looking at Lee Hunter. I'd obviously seen a lot of Texas Tech and that defense. Draft the entire Texas Tech defense. That front unit of Texas Tech is absolutely incredible. And we're going to talk about some other guys for sure in this draft class. They're all coming out, it seems. He just joined Texas Tech in 2025 after previously being at UCF and Auburn. He's a redshirt senior who just turned 24 a few days ago, a little bit older. He has that hulking frame, driving force, excellent shed ability, getting underneath linemen's arms before he's able to swallow up backs. Been able to move O-lineman at will, really dominant run stuffer. Senior Bowl, great showing in that. But I had a look at the tape, and I'm not to the kind of point that you are. I'm still a +1 on the guy, but there's apparently small hands. Again, need to see some measurables. Not the most natural athlete in the world. Struggles on the turn, top heavy frame, I think can leave him struggling with balance. I do think he gets knocked off balance, as you said. Don't think he offers a tremendous amount in obvious pass situations. He does have a surprisingly high pass rush win rate, which is still very difficult to say, by the way.
Just running forward. That's what I'm saying. There's no technique there.
It's not a technical thing, is it? And he's shown to not be a consistent 3-down defender, which for a nose, fair enough. You're probably not going to expect that anyway. I was really excited to dive into the tape, and maybe I just overhyped him in my head. He's still a run-stuffing man-mountain that will absolutely swallow you up. Those athletic limitations, lack of pass rush production, I don't know. As a nose in the second round for the Steelers, I would absolutely love it. But whether I go first round, I've got him as a +1, but I'm not as enthused as I would be with some other players in this draft. There are possibly some other guys that I would be targeting over him. Yeah. I do think he is a dominator.
I hope he's a dominator.
I think he'll have a very good few years in the NFL, for sure.
I hope he proves me wrong. You like seeing these big, strong dudes. But 6'3", 320, is he really that big?
Well, that's the thing. I was surprised when I saw 6'3". I thought he was bit taller than that.
320. I thought you looked like 330.
320 still 80 off percentile. But the problem with those percentiles is I think they also take into account edge. I really like Lee Hunter. I thought I was going to utterly love him the way I did Benton and Kenneth Grant last year and Jordan Davis, but I wasn't quite at that level. But still a +1, and I think he'll do a job for whoever he ends up on.
37 on the big board. I wouldn't be surprised if he slips into end of second round myself.
Christen Miller out of Georgia. 6'4", 310. Redshirt junior, 21 years of age. I was a little cold on Miller. The production was consistently fine throughout college. He's got good raw power to move guards and be disruptive. His get-off's good, powerful hands, quite like the size. He plays a little bit bigger than 310. He has the best pass rush win rate of all the DTs in this class as well. Surprised me as well, yeah.
Because I've got here not massive pass rush upside.
Yeah, that shocked me as well, because I didn't think he had the best pass rush upside either. I didn't think he was the greatest at anything particularly. I didn't think he anticipated where the run was heading very well. Set himself up for whiffs too much, lack of finishing. Seemed to be almost in first gear a lot of the time. I didn't feel like he really stepped up as much. And then you take into account that he had shoulder surgery after the 2024 season. It doesn't seem to have affected him too much, but you have to be worried about the kind of durability of that shoulder. But I honestly was a big fat meh on Christen Miller. I think there's more interesting prospects around this area. I'm not saying he's bad, and the youth is on his side, certainly, but I'm not particularly keen on targeting this guy, which is very opposite to Mike. Mike says he really likes Christen Miller, but I'm a -1, and there's just something that doesn't resonate with me, Miller's play. I don't see him as a stealer, and I don't see the upside.
That sounds like a classic -1 for you. I was actually at value until I saw that he was on the big board at 39, which seems a bit rich for me. I don't see him as an early second rounder. I think he'll be fine. If you said he was third round pick, I'd say fine. Yeah, at value, 100%. He's athletic, he's got a good frame, and I like his motor. He's always involved, and I like his stack and shed ability. Good anchor, good striking. He's got heavy hand, heavy punch, nice strike. He jolts dudes back, stays low. You can say about everything. Pads get too high, pad gets too high. It becomes a cliche. Doesn't get too high in his pads, stays nice and low for a bigger guy. I thought he had decent length, and doesn't quite lock out, but he extends well. Those fundamentals for a D-lineman you can work on. D-line's a funny position. If you haven't got one of these guys that's like a Cam Hayward, take you over the top guy, just having a guy like this on your line is going to do you a job, and it's going to be fine, and you're going to have other players get the stats and the highlights and stuff. There's a value to that. But on the downside, does he maintain his balance through his pass rush? I'm not sure he does. I thought he's a great run defender, but technical improvement will help him develop as a bull rusher, and perhaps one or two basic pass rush moves. I don't think he's ever going to turn into a real penetrating interior pass rusher. Did you say about his awareness or something?
Yeah, anticipating where the run's heading.
Yeah, where the play's going. Sometimes his motor takes him out of the play. I thought he could do with a bit more calm and composure. He's so eager to get in and get there that sometimes he creates a gap for the running back by driving his guy back, where he could do better by actually not driving back and just peeking a gap, like holding his guy there, holding on, going, okay, I'm blocking 2 lanes just by holding this guy. Let's see which lane the running back takes, and then I'm going to get and make the play. Sometimes he overcommits too quickly, actually creates a gap. But I think that's coachable. Sometimes he's a little bit slow off the ball, a little bit sluggish. So I'm at value, but I definitely wouldn't take him where he's being valued at the moment. So I don't know if that makes me a -1 in my own grading system. That's a bit of a problem. But I'm going to stick with the 0. I don't think I'm quite as down on him as you, but yeah, I'm not super, super high on him. Definitely not.
No, yeah.
But I do think he's solid against the run, apart from those problems I mentioned.
I was a little bit cold, and with the shoulder concerns, that kind of put me off a little bit. It wasn't such of a motor thing, but I felt he could give more, and I just didn't see more out of him.
I think it's a classic case of D-line sometimes being a bit boring, and him not being a very exciting player in some ways, but being solid.
Just not a guy that I'm particularly interested in. First team All SEC, definitely got upside there.
I think he'll come in there. I think he'll play well, and I think he'll get paid eventually. I think I don't think he's going to be a bust, but just whether he's going to be a real difference maker or not, I'm not sure. A guy nicknamed Big Citrus.
Big Citrus, baby.
Talking about Dominique Orange, 6'4", 325. This is your wide-bodied bowling ball nose tackle type, but with decent athleticism, and he's a real hustle player. He's got a swim move, so he can penetrate. He's definitely more of a run lane clogger. He's got some burst for a big heavy. Exciting nose tackle. Definitely a little bit light on his feet. Decent first step and decent movement for a heavy guy. Nice strength, fights through blocks to get to the ball carrier, keeps pads low, does play a little bit out of control. The technique's not there. Arms flailing, body spinning. Like to see more precise technique, a bit more. But it doesn't feel like it's terminal what his issues are. It's just they needs a bit of work. Does have heavy hands. You can see him jolt people, but just not very technical. And you worry that he hasn't got the greatest length. Like to see a bit more power in his bull rush, but I think that can come because he's got the strength and he's got the pad level. So there's no reason why he shouldn't. I just think he needs to commit to being a good bull rusher. And he's got a good anchor. He's at 71 on the big board. At value ? I've got here. Is he a priority target? He's somewhere in between for me. And I like him as a nose. So I probably will be swayed to a +1, but I'm going to hear what you say to make my decision. What do you think?
Oh, I am going to sway you to a +1 if I can. I very nearly red starred this guy. I love Big Citrus. Massive build, part of Feldman's freaks list. Incredible upper body strength, hit you with immediate force and velocity, drive you back into the QB's lap. Surprising speed and athleticism for his size. I don't know if you watched the BYU tape. It shows his athleticism. It shows his intelligence. He's got a great vision for the field. I love the motor on this guy. I think he's really patient as well, though. He is a little bit out of control at times. Maybe the arm length issues are part of that. You do see him flailing around a little bit. I do think at times he can be quite patient when he sees that he could get a batted pass or there's an open run gap opportunity that he can plug up. As you say, that the swim move, I absolutely saw that on there. There is a concern. 25% missed tackle rate this year. When he's in a phone booth with a lineman, I feel like he does struggle at times to move out of it, despite his big size against some of the bigger linemen. Going uphill and lateral speed are great, but does have a bit of a cruise ship turning speed when he's has to turn around. The athleticism lets him down a bit. 2024 seemed to be a better year for him all round than 2025. He's still a young guy. He's going to be 22 next month. There's definitely more to come from him. And I need to see those arm length measurables. I need to know if it's going to be a major problem, but I love him. He's relentless, smart, powerful, everything you could want from an interior guy. The stats may not be the greatest, but he's a disruptive force at the highest standard. If I can convince you to go to +1, yeah.
I'm +1, yeah. You've swayed me.
There we go.
I did like him.
Yeah. Dante Corleone out of Cincinnati. Senior, 23 years of age, 6'1", 335 pounds. 8th percentile height, 97th percentile weight. He's got a powerful frame, and it looks like his arm length, there's no concerns there because he uses those to fend off double teams really nicely. Another Feldman's freaks list guy. Moves really nicely for a big guy, and he fills gaps well. But unfortunately, I think that's where the pros end for me, other than the fact that he had a hell of a freshman campaign. He was very highly touted out of his freshman year. Production has dipped each season. There are numerous injury concerns. We had a blood clot scare in 2024, which is a major issue, and had more concerns throughout 2025, some injury pickups throughout the year. He has been known for his weight to balloon up to over 340 odd as well, so he's got to watch the weight. I don't think he's a pass rush dominator at all. Another guy who just tries to win with power over technique. He's a big man with a big plan, which is just stuff runners. With some of the athletic traits that he had, it was a shame that he couldn't generate more of a pass game impact, along with the fluctuating weight concerns and the troubling injury history. I'm going to say -1 on Dante Corleone. There's too many red flags for me for this guy, who otherwise is a bit of an athletic freak, especially that blood clot. That's a major worry.
He's a blend of a classic nose, but also a more powerful 3-4 DN type. I like his leverage due to his shorter height. He really gets under blockers' pads and drives them back. Maybe he's the ideal sub-package D lineman. Can keep him on. He can plug lanes. He can play DN, like you said. Maybe that works. Probably too short, though. So I don't know. He plays with good energy. I thought he's a good athlete. You said that. Quick first step, good agility, nice hands. Superior anchor. Bottom-heavy dude. He's a bell bottom. He cannot be moved off his spot. You like that from your nose tackle. You like his hand placement. You like his leg drive on his bull rush. I think that's actually a plus skill of his, the bull rush. I was halfway between at value and the priority target at +1. I liked his grip strength. But then the more I thought about it, is he just a one-gap player? Possibly due to his shorter arms. He's not really a stack and shed merchant at all, do you? Don't really see him doing that. So is he a two-gapper? No, I didn't think. So he's a one-gap player, so that makes him a tweener. Can't really get off blocks all the time. Didn't like how he's firing off the ball. And then you read about the blood clots in 24 and the injuries in 25. I like his repertoire. Don't like his injury history. Don't like his fit for the Steelers. I'm higher on the Godfather than you are by the sound of it.
I could very well be wrong on this one, but too many concerns for me for Dante Corleone.
Sure. Darrell Jackson out of Florida State, 3'3", 6'5". That's a nice size. He's got that long, powerful warrior frame, nice length, with a good agility. Another dude that played right along the front, including nose, various 3 and 4 eye techniques. He looks like a 3-4 DN to me. Like, he looks prototypical 3-4 size. Perfect. Nice level of power. Savage violence. You love it. Locks out well. Drives feet through contact. Can really waste a dude when he's engaged and locked out. He'll get his hands on a guy's pads, lock out, push, drive, wait to see which way the play's going. And then when he's decided he wants to make a move, he just throws the guy aside, makes the play. Nice lateral steps in the zone game. Those heavy, violent hands. Pad level is good. 6'5" dude. He doesn't play overly high. That's nice. Hand placement, generally very good. Keeps it active as well during rushes. Might disengage, re-imply. Can occupy a double team. Can shed. Uses length to catch a running back. Hit a hole. Like, he can put his arm bar out and lar at a dude. Nice two-gapper. I was really starting to see the beginnings of some rush moves. Got a swim. Tries some push-pull on bull rush. So he's not just using power and stuff. He's trying to use some technique. Still room for improvement to that pocket push side of his game. The bull rush is unimpressive. Needs to add leg strength. He can win there when he gets his hand under the pads and win the leverage battle, but he's not the most explosive. He lacks a little bit of quickness from out of his stance. He'll be a little bit late off the ball. And you do see the motor run cold on some plays. Not a massive issue, but something to be aware of. You don't see any bend. Not much gap shooting ability. Don't see much penetration. He's definitely more of a guy that's going to take on a blocker rather than get past a guy. I think he's a bread and butter run defender. You lean on his pocket push versus the pass rather than any specific pass rush tools. I wonder, is he more suited to playing defensive tackle in a 4-3? But him as a 3-4 defensive end convert for the Steelers, his frame and length, especially when he extends, combined with his violence and his stack and shed ability, I'm buying it. I'm +1. He's 81 on the big board. Good player. What do you think?
I love him. I don't know if you've seen the measurables from the Senior Bowl. Get this. 97th percentile hands, 94th percentile arms, and a 7'2" wingspan. That is insanity.
Pterodactyl.
This guy's an absolute monster.
Was a standout at the East-West Shrine game, and he was a very late addition to the Senior Bowl. And then he had a pancake block in Senior Bowl practice that went viral. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. Brutal block.
Normally I'm down on guys who just try to use their arm length, but this guy could probably get away with it.
It's got that arm bar when the guy's running through the hole. Exactly, he can just put out one of those levers and the dude runs into an iron bar.
It's absolutely insane measurables. Couldn't really disagree on a lot that you said in there. There were times too high up in pad level, but otherwise I agreed with everything else that you said there. Definitely has some technical refinement to get there, and this was more of a down year production-wise. There was one other key thing with Darrell Jackson that I really liked. He won the Bobby Bowden Leadership Award in 2024, and he won this for his leadership qualities throughout a dreadful 2-10 season for Florida State. He was the shining light in an otherwise turgid year for FSU in 2024. Florida State then comes out of the gates beating Alabama in 2025, and you're thinking, oh, it's all going to turn around. It didn't quite happen that way. It was a bit of a down year production-wise for Jackson, but violent, explosive, seismic shifter of a player. 9 sacks in college, violent drive, versatility across the line with him. Often seen him double-teamed. You need to double-team this guy if he's got a 7'2" wingspan. Went to the Shrine, looked brilliant. Went to the Senior Bowl, looked great there as well. His ceiling could be sky high. I'm a +1 as well on him. I'd absolutely fit him in as a 3-4 end on the Steelers.
If the Steelers can get this guy.
He's a bit of a journeyman. He started in Maryland in 2021. He redshirted there, so didn't get any time. Miami in 2022, finding his home at FSU, and I think he became a real leader in that team. Love to see those leadership qualities if you can bring those. Yeah. He's 23 just after the draft. He seems to have a really good head on his shoulders.
I think he could be like a Stephon Tuitt kind of cat.
Could absolutely.
He's got a 3rd round grade. I think you're getting a quality starter in the 3rd round there.
Stephon Tuitt with the kind of Cam Hayward head on the shoulders.
Demonte, Capehart, 315, 6'5", another warrior frame dude. One of the many guys in this draft that is a perfect fit for the Steelers. Good power, hustle, good length. I absolutely love his strength and power. The way he gets in contact, he keeps his feet driving, he uses that length, got good motor. See him forcing linemen's pads backwards with his bull rush. He just looks like a grown-ass man out there for Clemson. The violence, the strength, the heavy strikes, the leg drive, good two-gap ability, nice pad level, can shed. He's not super bursty, but he's got good lateral agility. I think his game can be cleaned up. His technique can be made sharper. The coaching will help. Was a rotational dude for Clemson. Wasn't one of their key guys. Don't know why. He looks like a beast out there, all the snaps I saw. Had some injuries, maybe that's it. Played across the line. Maybe they didn't find a perfect way to use him. But I love him for the 3-4 DN for the Steelers. Slight projection because of the limited reps, but the raw strength and the power just jumped off the tape. This was easy for me. This is a +1, and he's my sleeper.
I really like him as well. A great size. He had some terrific speed on tape. Great lateral move up. Good hand placement. Great strength shown to move linemen back onto their heels. Another guy who shows some line versatility as well. A massive dude. Impressed as the Shrine Bowl. Like the way he drove his shoulder through at times with force. He's going to be 24 when the season starts. A little bit on the older side of things. Was kind of locked into his block, and then where the ball was going, lost where the play was heading. Just locked and focused into one thing. He needed to pull off of that. I don't think he's a slouch in the pass rush game. Potential expansion of his arsenal is needed and some technical refinement there. The bigger guards in the NFL, maybe he'll have some potential struggles against. The minimal ankle concerns as well that he had in 2024. Clemson had a tough year. The production might not have turned heads, but I really thought that Capehart showed some really nice stuff. Somewhat minimal tape that you do get out of him, but as a full-on run stuffer, situational run stuffer, you can flex across the line in places with that quickness and power combo. I'd say he's a high day 3 prospect, maybe the 4th rounder. We've got 3 picks at the 3rd round. If one of them's Capehart, I think he's that.
What's it, 144 on the big board?
Yeah, he's fairly fair down there, but his stock could definitely improve. All the eyes were on Peter Woods, but man, yeah, Demonte Capehart, what a player. Really interesting prospect. I'm a +1 on him as well.
You know what you're getting with him. He's going to suit a 3-4 team? Yeah.
Absolutely. Tim Keenan III out of Alabama. Redshirt senior, 23 years of age, 6'2", 320. Productive pass rusher, 6 sacks over the last 2 seasons. Good productivity there. Good get off. Senior Bowl practices helped his stock a little bit. Really good bull rush ability. I need the measurables because it appears that the arms and hands are pretty small. Didn't track the ball very well. Can get washed quite easily. I just don't think the Senior Bowl practices corresponded to the tape. It's just a bit of a struggle at times on tape. He's a hard hitter. Can generate pressure, but very inconsistent. May struggle with those questionable arm lengths. It's just not a player for me. I'm a -1. Big school, but I'm just not big on the guy himself.
Defensive tackle from Alabama. I watched him pretty early in the process. It was non-plus. Big, stout, bowling ball, 2-gapping nose tackle. There's the question, where do you take a guy like this?
Yeah.
Definitely space-eating clogger. NFL needs these dudes to fight the run. They're just not an exciting, stat-getting, highlight reel-making player. He just does what he does. He's a Ford Transit of NFL players. So he's just doing his thing. He can 2-gap, and he's got solid anchor, holds up versus double team very well. I thought he kept his head on a swivel through contact, decent awareness, not getting lost on run lanes. He's well coached and he knows what he's doing. He popped up straight out of his stance, just stands up. He lacks punch, which I didn't like. Not that bursty. He's a nose tackle, but he looks like a nose tackle. He moves like a nose tackle. He's heavy-footed. The ground shakes when he runs, which you kind of like. He's going to be hard to move. But you're not drafting him for any kind of agility upside or testing freakness. That's not his game. He's at 116. I think he's going to fall in the draft. He lacks length. You don't see that much hand skill. There's no reapplication of getting off blocks. It's all push. That's it. Just very little other than occupying linemen. Don't see any penetration, but he's just big and he's there. Reportedly showed up at Alabama at 380 pounds after recovering from a high school knee injury.
He can balloon.
I think the evaluation comes down to how you value a pure nose tackle like this. And the Steelers sure could use this guy, right? But it's at what cost and at what price? Teams prefer mobile nose tackles like what the Steelers are in the Benton range at 310 to 320. I think Benton was 309 when he's drafted. This guy's 330 plus, big and heavy. I think the consensus big board is way overvaluing him. I'm at value because I think that he's a Heinz baked beans can. You know what you're getting when you draft him, but do you need to pay that price? So I'm at value, but I expect him to fall from that into round 5 value. So I think the 116 is too high. Put me at value. I understand why you're -1 because he's the least exciting player in this.
Oh, absolutely, he is 100%.
Aaron Graves out of Iowa, 6'5", 295. Decent, 2-gapping, run sealer, nice lateral first step. He's got a nice swim move, pass rush, got a little jab step there for added juice, a little bit of agility. Perfect 3-4 end. Played 52 games for the Hawkeyes, 122 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 16.5 sacks, 4 stumbles, 5 passes defended over 4 seasons. He locks out well, he extends well, he's got a solid punch. You see him strike under the pads and get a jerk on a dude, holds up well versus double teams, see him get low and wide and drop his anchor. He doesn't get that much push. He doesn't push the pocket, but he doesn't get driven back either. So he's net neutral in the pass game, which you can work with as a 3-4. Some teams are going to not like that and they're going to get him off the board, like 4-3 teams. That's the role of Steelers 3-4 end in a lot of ways. Don't give up ground and defend the run. I thought he kept his pads nice and low, not just when he pops out of his stance, but when he's engaged. Nice leverage, lateral agility, keeps him play side in zone game, so he doesn't get reached or scooped that easy. He's just not a gap penetrator, which is why he'll fall. Not the most exciting highlight reel, but solid tape. Not a plus athlete. Looks a little bit heavy-footed at times, even for a D lineman. Isn't the strongest in his lower half. Doesn't quite have enough torque strength to move people in the stack and shed game. But he can get off blocks, but doesn't really move people around. He's not one of those guys that's resetting the O-line for you. He's not going to do that. He's going to work off what he can. But it's got a good frame. I think you could add strength to that frame. He needs to put an extra day in the diary for a leg day. He needs a bit more knee flex, a bit more power. The bull rush seems to run out of steam. It starts well, shows promise, and then doesn't go anywhere. The hip flex and knee bend, when he's trying to rush the corner, which he does sometimes at Iowa, doesn't work. So he's definitely no doubt an inside guy. There's no way he's going to be an edge, 4-3 edge here. Overall, I like him. He's a bit of a sleeper. He's 2-2-1 on the consensus.
Back end of 6th, start 7th.
So is that like a comp pick in the 6th round or something like that? That's where Logan Lee was taken, wasn't it? I much prefer him to Logan Lee. You can just see him being a depth, rotational piece. He's a perfect fit. I hope they draft him. Or if he goes undrafted, that they pick him up. I think Aaron Graves is an ideal guy to backfill the Steelers' D-line. What do you think?
Well, you call him a deep sleeper. I call him my sleeper.
Yes.
I love Aaron Graves, man. He's so good. Great speed, ton of sacks, great production. Lovely and light on his feet as well, with some terrific acceleration. Great motor. Love the motor. Sideline to sideline chases. Had the highest pass rush grade in all of the guys that we've watched today. Maybe he does need to put on a few. It's that kind of worrying balance of if you bulk up, will you lose some of the speed elements that you love so much about him. I actually had him down at 300 here, just tipping over the 300. Not been invited to the combine. Shocker. Slightly tweenerish, but I don't care with this guy. I think you can absolutely find positive ways to use him on that line. Maybe he gets a bit bullied off by some of the bigger linemen. Maybe he needs to build more of a pass rush arsenal. That sack on Mendoza against Indiana, where he just sidesteps the guy, runs straight through and gets straight to the legs of Mendoza. That's what tipped it over the edge for me. I'm really impressed and excited to see what Aaron Graves can bring to an NFL roster, and I really do hope it is the Steelers. Aaron Graves was a high school wrestler, so no wonder I liked Aaron Graves so much.
It's your type.
High school wrestling background, if he keeps up this relentlessness, develops more pass rush moves, I think he could be a hell of a steal, man. I think he could be one of those 6th or 7th round prospects that you're just like, how the hell did this guy fall? He was second team All Big Ten in 2025 as well. Multiple academic honours. Very smart young man.
And I think he is a Loudermilk replacement. Think about Loudermilk, Aaron Graves. I think he would allow you to get rid of Logan Lee and Loudermilk in one clean sweep. He'll play you some special teams, add some strength, work towards him being a 3-4 defensive end in the base, and he'll probably do that for 5-6 years. So that was +1.
Chris McClellan, Missouri, formerly of Florida, senior, 22 years of age, 6'4", 323 pounds. So you love that size on him. More productive each and every year in college. 5 sacks through 2025. Good patience trying to find gaps to pursue. Good speed in the backfield. A relentless motor. These relentless motor guys could be a little bit wild at times. His technique's not the greatest. It needs a little bit of refinement. 7.9% missed tackle percentage in 2025. Brilliant. Really strong senior bowl showing. This guy is just a disruptor. He is a Duracell bunny his main mission is to cause havoc. Generated a ton of pressure throughout his college career as well. Can get a little high in the pads at times, can get himself a little bit turned around in the run game on occasion, does get washed out here and there. That could be absolutely coached out of him, clear up some of the technical hand issues. Oh my word, I am so in on the project of Chris McClellan. 1000% he's my red star.
Red star!
What is he on the consensus?
1-2-1. He's just below Tim Keenan.
I would take him way above Tim Keenan. One of those third-round picks. He's a +1. I think he could be a ideal 3-4 defensive end. I watched Arkansas, Alabama, and South Carolina. Impressed in all 3 games.
Gabriel Rubio out of Notre Dame. 6'5", 322. Classic. The Steelers 3-4 defensive end with a warrior frame. He's 7'3" of the big board. I think limited snaps is the issue. He's just not been that involved, but they moved him around the line. What I saw, exact Loudermilk replacement. They took Loudermilk in the 5th round. He was from a way smaller school than this. He locks out, he extends, heavy hands, like the hand placement, good pad level, fires out of his stance, plays with the wide base, decent anchor. Doesn't offer much at all against the pass, but strongly fits the 3-4 scheme and nothing else. He is the ideal 2nd or 3rd string defensive lineman, and you're getting him probably undrafted. I'm putting my chips in. I'm actually +2. Draft at all costs, or take him as an undrafted free agent at all costs, offer him the most money if he's still available. I think he's probably a 6th or 7th round pick in reality, but he just screams Steeler at me. I like this guy a lot. +2, Gabriel Rubio, Steeler.
He was injured as well that part of the season. Left elbow injury. He's a guy who's going to be drafted, but it's a massive concern.